Hi everyone, it's Corinne Maund from 13th Street Winery, and I'd like to welcome all of you to our very first live seminar. So I have taken lots of notes of what I want to talk with you today, so I'm excited to see all of you, and I'm happy that you're joining us. I hope that you are all safe and healthy at home and ready to drink some wine. We have our Party Pinot Pack ready to go. So I have mine. I have the Pinot Gris. I have white burger blend, red burger blend, and of course the Pinot Noir. So we will go through all the wines together and taste together. I'll give you all a few minutes just to get set up. I have all my glasses ready to go so I can pre-pour all my wines. I also have a plate of food that I suggested for all of you to have ready. So I see lots of you joining in. This is exciting. Hello. So I will go through a little bit of what you should have. So I have here, I suggested to have a goat's cheese. So I have just a soft goat's cheese, but any kind of sheep's milk cheese or any kind of water buffalo goat is fine. I did choose a smoked cheddar. I also chose a little bit of a hard salty cheese. So I have Handeck, but if you don't have any kind of Handeck, you could have salty parm, any kind of cow's milk cheese is fine. I have almonds here. Almonds is that perfect nut that goes with every wine. It's just very wine friendly. I lightly salted with salt and pepper and some olive oil and toasted in the oven for a few minutes. I suggested plain potato chips, but somebody last night ate the plain potato chips, so now we have mustard chips. Just as good. I tested them and they're fine. I suggested some salami, so I have some chorizo here. So this is chorizo's fine, and then a bit of breadsticks. For something fun to have with the burger blend, I thought, so on another plate here, I put some condiments. So I have some mustard, some ketchup, chopped up pickles, and bruschetta. So the bruschetta is just tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, and a little bit of fresh basil. So easy. So I'll give you all a few minutes just to get joined and get your wines out of the fridge, ready to go, your glasses ready, and we'll get set up. So since I have you, I'd like to thank all of you for joining me, and I would like to thank you from the 13th Street team for your participation and support during this time. So thank you from owners Doug and Karen Whitty, John and June Mann, from our winemaker, Jean-Pierre, who is busy making lots of wine for us, our wine bar team, and our bakery team. So thank you. We miss all of you, and we really want to stay connected. So please keep emailing me. I love all the different emails and smiles and chats that you have been sending, so please keep up with that. And to give you a little bit of an update of what's been happening at 13th Street, what's been new. So we just bottled twice this last week. We bottled Sauvignon Blanc, the new Pink Palette, and a new June's Riesling. We also bottled, for all the Chardonnay lovers, the Vichek Chardonnay. And JP has quoted that this might be his best Chardonnay yet. So be ready. I think it's going to be about 2 weeks, and then we can get that released for you. So I know have a lot of you emailing me already asking for it. So that will be coming up soon. We also bottled the Vin Gris. So that is our Gamay in a white style, rosé style. And that one is, I took a bottle home to taste to quality check for you to make sure it's good, and it's delicious. I actually tasted a little bit of notes of jalapeno, white pepper, tart, cherry, pink grapefruit. It's gone. It's delicious. So that will be released shortly as well, so keep tuned for that. I'll give you an update what I've been up to. So I've been working from home right now and trying to answer lots of emails and keep connected with you. I've also been doing a little bit of wine deliveries and dropping off some wine club shipments and a little bit of wine packages of the Pinot Pack. So it's been nice to wave to some of you from the car. I also have a little bit of lots of cooking at home. So I live with a chef and he has basically emptied out all of our cupboards, and that is where the inspiration came from, the cupboard diet recipes. As I'm watching him cook everything, because it's not as easy for us to go to the store 3 times a week these days, so it's about once a week we order online and then get the groceries. So I thought, you know what, you don't need any fancy tools, you don't need any fancy ingredients, just a good imagination and enjoy, and some good wine, of course. So I hope that you have enjoyed some of those recipes and continue cooking some, and anything that you guys have been cooking and drinking, please post and send pictures, because I'm so interested to see what you're cooking and what you're drinking. I have, of course, been drinking lots of my own cellar wines. I have opened up many older Essence, Game's, Riesling, Sparkling, Chardonnay. So they all have been delicious, so I have to keep stocking up. But what better time than now to start enjoying some of what we have in the cellar. Of course, I have to go for lots of runs after quality checking all the at-home cooking and wine. So I run with my 2 dogs, try to stay fit and healthy, and then go back at it. So keep connected and keep emailing. I really haven't been enjoying staying in touch with all of you. Okay, so I think we have a lot of people joining, so let's start tasting. So we'll start with the Pinot Gris. I wrote down everything that I tasted beforehand so that I could go through it with you. I had one night set up all the wines and all these pairings at home, and of course my partner, the chef, sat right down. He's like, "Ooh, is this for dinner? What are we doing?" So we tried everything, and it was really fun. So I thought the condiments was a good addition, just because sometimes what's happening with your burger is not so much about the actual burger itself, it's about what's happening, all the ketchup and the mustard and the pickles and the relish. So we'll try that along. So any of you that just joined, I'll go over a little bit of what the plate we have. So I have some goat's cheese, some hard salty cheese, some smoked cheddar, some almonds, salted and lightly oiled, some any kind of salami or chorizo is perfect. I suggested plain chips, but somebody ate them, so I have mustard chips, some breadsticks, and on another plate here, I have pickles, mustard, and ketchup, and some bruschetta, with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and basil. I see lots of great comments, and perfect. I'm laughing because my partner, Rick, is messaging in saying that he's ready to eat them again and try the pairings again, which is great. So he's at home with his own party pack, following along, an expert. Okay, so let's start with the Pinot Gris. I have been excited. It's 1 o'clock. Happy Friday. It is 4:08, and it's the perfect time to start a glass of wine. Normally, when we have the doors closed and we do our last customer, we always call that 1 o'clock, and we all pour something fun and have a little splash of our favorite wine. So Pinot Gris is the perfect little everyday wine. You don't really need any fruit pairings with the Pinot Gris. I have been going for this. I love Chardonnay, but lately, since we released the Pinot Gris, I do go for Pinot Gris because it's so refreshing and crisp. So the Pinot Gris was actually hand-picked, put it here so you can see, was hand-picked and fermented in stainless steel tanks with a little bit of lees, which is just going to add a little bit of a creamy texture and mouthfeel for you. But you're going to get lots of, it's really fresh and fruity, lots of peach and stone fruit on the aroma. And when you taste it, you're going to get some green pear, some melon, again, some of that peach and stone fruit, lime, really fresh, zippy finish. This wine, we are going to pair this with, so one, try with some almonds. Almonds is that nut that goes so friendly with most wines. It's actually going to bring out a little bit of the creaminess and the nuttiness out of the Pinot Gris. A little bit of a wow pairing is the bruschetta. Sorry, you probably can't see all these here, but the bruschetta. So if you want to have a little bit of crostini or anything on the side, try the tomatoes first on its own. What's happening here is you're going to get acidity meets acidity. So tomatoes have tons of acidity, so does the Pinot Gris, and they're going to soften each other, the acidity in both, and bring out more fruit in the wine, and you're going to taste more of the basil and all the goodness that you have in the bruschetta. Now, there's been times where we do dinners at the wine bar or in the winery where we have a tomato-based dish that's on a warm dish, and you think you want to go to that red wine. But when in doubt, it's actually Pinot Gris is one of those little secret gems that you can pair, and it goes really nice together. Another fun pairing is the plain chips. Now, if you do have mustard chips at home, I do recommend trying. It's actually even a better pairing. But the plain chips, nothing like a glass of Pinot Gris and some chips on the couch and a good movie. The mustard chips actually were even better. It brought out more of a little bit of a honey note on the finish, which is really good. And then the hard salty cheese that you have is that wine loves salt again. So it's going to bring out more of the fruit notes and soften the acidity in the Pinot Gris. So I'll go through all these pairings with you, and then you can try it along with me. And then at the end, try everything, enjoy it, open up all your wine. You might have to finish them over the next couple days, but that's okay. So let's go on to the next burger blend. Oh, before I go, I do want to mention that the Pinot Gris actually is, I like having this. I wrote down like simple pastas like aglio, which is garlic and oil, a little bit of pesto. You could even take chicken breast and stuff it with pears and goat cheese and bake in the oven with a little bit of pesto on top. Really easy drinking wine, and have some fun with it. Sushi, it's a great wine to have a sushi, especially when we're doing a lot of takeout right now. Okay, so burger blend. So I'm gonna pour some of this. So burger blend, 75% Riesling, 25% Pinot Grigio. This is a great little everyday wine. This one, respect your burger. So this is all about the burgers and that backyard fun. So this one you're gonna get yellow pear, yellow apple, a little bit of peach and citrus, some lemon, off dry. It's really easy drinking, like I said. It's a good little everyday wine. You don't really need food, but it does have some great pairings with it. So the goal with having the burger blend pairing is to have all the flavors that are in your burger or your tacos to go with the wine. So we had to take in consideration the acidity from the pickle, the sweetness from the ketchup, the spice from the mustard, and the smokiness from the barbecue from whatever you're grilling. So all together, this is what's gonna balance. So have some fun. One night we had some condiments for dinner, which is really, have nothing like a spoonful of ketchup and mustard. But it's really interesting because when you're trying to teach yourself how to do wine and food pairing, it's good to try everything on your plate and just experiment, have some fun with it. So the mustard, if you try a little bit of the mustard, you're gonna get a lot more peach notes come out in your wine. When you have ketchup, you're gonna actually it's gonna balance the sweetness of the ketchup and bring out more fruit in the wine, and the ketchup's gonna taste more savory. The pickle is fun. It softens the acidity, so you're gonna have that acid meets acid again. It's gonna soften the acidity and again bring out more fruit in your wine. And I get a little bit of white pepper when I try it with the burger blend. Salami, any kind of salami that you have. I chose chorizo. This was delicious. I had to fight for the last couple pieces of chorizo when I was trying this at home. And I got a lot more lime and stone fruit come out. So really fun, easy drinking wine, easy to pair. This one, I think burgers, fish burgers, veggie burgers is really great with this. You can also do tacos. So my favorite that I like to try to make is fish tacos, sweet potato tacos, or pork belly tacos, and add some little bit of pickled red onion on top. It's really great. Also, all year long, takeout Thai. Takeout Thai is great with the burger white. So don't need to have burgers with it. It's not quite spring yet, so I know supporting local right now and getting some takeout. We can't always make takeout Thai as we can at home. I have tried, it's not the same, but it's good to have it takeout. Since we're on the burger blends, let's go right into the burger red. I have a question. What would go well with chocolate covered nuts? So that's a tough one because chocolate, you have to have the right kind of chocolate. If it's a really dark chocolate, you can do a heavier red, like a Cab Sauv or a Cab Franc. If it's a milk chocolate, you can sometimes do, if it's an almond's the good nut to use. Sometimes milk chocolate you can use with Pinot Noir. Just depends on the style of Pinot Noir. If it's a really fruity, easy drinking, lots of warm spice, seeing a little bit of oak, easy. But if it is a little bit of a drier side, it might be a little bit challenging. I find general chocolate is a little bit challenging with some wines, but have fun, again, try it. The almond's gonna definitely help. And all of you that are putting in questions, keep commenting questions. If at the end, I will try to get to a few of your questions. A few of you did email me some ahead of time, so I do have those. And if not, I can always post after, or you can email me and I can make sure I answer your questions. That's water, it should be wine. So, burger blend, red. Back onto the respect to your burger. Okay. This one I will have a little taste of, and make sure. Cheers. So, with the burger red, this one, oh, I have different notes for this one. So the burger red, this one is 65% Gamay, 35% Pinot Noir. So this one is the heartbreak grape meets the heartwarming grape. So I'm going to quote owner and grape grower Doug Whitty. He has commented, and I love this quote, that the Gamay is a heartwarming grape because it's much easier to grow than the difficult Pinot Noir. So I love that we've blended these two together, and they marry really well. They're both on a lighter side, a little bit of that warm spice. The Gamay brings some acidity. The Pinot brings some of that cherry and raspberry. You get the little bit of black pepper, warm spice on the finish, and it's easy drinking. This one, it always surprises me when I open this up and I drink this because I always forget how good it is. And it's just such a great little, again, everyday wine. I'm probably telling you that all the wines are great everyday wines. So they are. So enjoy them all. So this one, it's about the condiments and everything that's happening with your burgers. So I wrote some notes down when I tried this one. This actually was really fun with the pickle. I actually went back for seconds and had some more pickles. So the pickle has a little bit of that vinegar and acidity. It got some dill. So what happens is it actually softened the acidity in the pickle, and it brought up more cherry jam and mushroom and earthy notes to the burger blend. It actually had a little bit more tannins and leather on the finish. It was really good. I loved it. So I went through a big glass of burger blend and about 3 pickles for this one. It was good. Great dinner. I tried with the ketchup. Ketchup, it actually brings out the sweetness in the ketchup and more cherry jam in the burger blend red. It was really great. I'm trying to keep reading all your comments as we're going, but I do have some helpers that are here that are writing down any great questions and that I can try to answer them after. But again, don't worry, I will make sure I get to all your questions. The mustard was a fun one with this one is because mustard has a little bit of heat, and I just used yellow mustard. Sometimes we try to put some gourmet mustards on our burger, but this one, it brought out some black pepper and spice in the wine, which was great. And the tomato, interesting enough, tomato makes the burger blend taste smoky. So, which when you have your burger, it's just going to add some more complexity to everything that's going to be in that flavor town. Salami, I had the chorizo, so the chorizo became a little bit more spicy, a lot more of that paprika and black pepper came out, and the wine, all the acidity and tannin softened, and it was tons of raspberry, like seeded raspberry jam, smoky cherry notes, a little bit of that mushroom. It was a really nice pairing. So I think that Gamay and Pinot Gris are really meant to have that charcuterie style dinner. So they're all going to go with everything that you have here. So mix and match and have some fun. The goat's cheese, one of my favorite pairings with Pinot and Gamay is goat's cheese, because goat's cheese has a bit of a lactic note, lots of acidity, and when you try it with either one of those grapes, I find with Pinot it makes it taste a little bit more jammy, you get more warm spice. With Gamay, it softens the acidity in the cheese, the cheese becomes creamier and the acidity in the wine is softer, and the wine has like a jammy, peppery note on the finish. So together we have both of them. Gamay for me, it's kind of my sommelier secret weapon. It goes with, when in doubt, so many different dishes. It always surprises me and amazes me of how many you can pair with it. So I also have some suggestions for this one. So you can do beef, lamb, black bean burgers, so many different styles of burgers. I know that you don't always have to have like a meat. You can do vegetarian as well. I would add a little bit of smoked cheddar with it because smoked cheddar actually brings out a smoky note in the burger blend, which is really nice. And all year, takeout pizza and wings. This is a great time to have takeout pizza and wings. The sauce and the barbecue sauce and that little bit that's spicy will go really well with the burger blend, and it'll make it more jammy. The acidity in any of the tomato-based sauces and stuff, the toppings you get on your pizza, same as the burger, is going to complement each other. So this can be a winter or a summer reb anytime. So enjoy this one. Put this on the side. So the next one we have Pinot Noir. So I know some of you had the 2018 Pinot, and some of you might have had the 2016 Pinot. So I have them both here. So I'm gonna have to taste them both. Probably. So the 2018 Pinot is a little bit lighter than the 16 Pinot. They both have had about 8 months in French oak. And fun fact is, because we don't go longer than 8 months, because then we have to get those barrels ready for the other reds that we're going to move into them. So this one is also hand-picked from the Whitty Vineyard, Creek Shores farm. And get this poured. So a little bit lighter. I'll actually pour both so you can kind of see. Lots of glasses. We have a dishwasher here, so I'm in the 13th Street cottage. I'll have to wash all these after. So I have both of these. So we have the 18 and then we have the 16. So you can see it's a little bit lighter, the 18, a little bit darker than the 16, both 8 months. I think that with the 16, I get a little bit more of, I get cherry pit, cherry jam, more of that warm spice, and like cinnamon baking spice notes. It's pretty light, easy drinking. The 16 Pinot is got tons of cherry jammy notes as well, but a little bit more tannins and a little bit more of that mushroom earthy kind of Niagara driven Pinot. Both, I would say, they're both very similar, just a little bit more tannin in the 16. Both will age really well at the same time. But this one, I would just recommend trying the hard cheese and the goat's cheese. The hard cheese, the salt is going to bring out a little bit more fruit flavor and cherry in both the wines. The goat's cheese is going to soften any of the tannins and acidity, and it's going to make the cheese really, really creamy. It's delicious. The chorizo and the salami, I loved with both of these as well, because it brought out more of spicy notes and black pepper in the wine. Also, almonds and Pinot are amazing. I love nuts and Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is probably one of my favorite grape varietals, though I love them all. But this one, I do try to collect Pinot Noir. So nuts, any kind of toasted nuts, bring out more jammy, warm spice notes in the Pinot. And sometimes, I probably shouldn't even say this, but I do love peanut butter with Niagara Pinot. It's one of my secret hidden pairings that I would have. So it's a little spoonful of peanut butter, and it's good almond butter or natural peanut butter. So it makes it better, of course. And then some Pinot Noir. And you'll get a little bit more cinnamon and baking spice with them both. And with this night that we had the Pinot, I was trying all the different pairings, and my partner Rick, he made salmon. He marinated it in a little bit of maple syrup, some salt and pepper, some olive oil. I had a little bit of wine in there as well, and mustard. I wrote down the ingredients. And he seared that off, and he made a mushroom risotto with a little bit of a balsamic glaze, and it was really great with both of the Pinot. So a little recipe. And again, if you have any questions about wine and food pairings, you can email me anytime at Corinne@13streetwinery.com, and I can answer all your questions for that.
But both are really ageable, and you can drink them now or put them away. So we'll get to a little bit of questions now. I think we have a few coming in. I have a few that I had as well. So it says, what would red pepper jelly taste good with? So the red pepper jelly, because it has a little bit of heat and spice, I think that the Pinot Gris would be complimentary for that if you had the right cheese. So goat's cheese is great with that. Easy to pair. If you put it with the Pinot Noir, it might make the Pinot a little bit too spicy. The red burger blend or the white has a little bit of a honeyed finish. It's going to complement the sweetness of the jelly a little bit easier. So that would be a nice pairing. And the Gamay jelly, if you have any kind of like jams or jellies, I would put that with the red wines first. And I have a question. What is your favorite Pinot Gris pairing? So personally, I love having it at 5 o'clock with nothing, just in the glass, which is delicious. But I love Mexican, so I tend to make Mexican taco nights. So any kind of ceviche, whitefish, tacos, and you can have all the different spicy toppings with it. I think it's a really great pairing with it. I have another question. Why blend Pinot Noir and Gamay together? So, one, they're two of our most popular and most grown grape varietals. So we wanted to produce those into a blend, and they go so well together. So they balance each other out really, really great. So I think that it's that perfect marriage of the heartbreak and the heartwarming grape. But they do complement each other with more warm spice and cherries and jammy notes. It softens and you have a little bit of tannin, which is really great. I have a comment, can we do this daily at 4 p.m.? That, you know what, I really do miss seeing all of you at the tasting bar and all your smiling faces. It's really nice to see all your comments here. So it's great. If we will do more of these seminars and to keep connected as we go. I have another question. Can you cellar Pinot Gris? You can. Pinot Gris, you can easily cellar 1 to 3 years. Ours, all of Jean-Pierre's wines do cellar really well, so I don't see a problem laying it down even a few years longer. But it's so fresh and delicious now. Why wait? I'd enjoy it. Yeah, drink it. Another question I had. Over here. Okay. What is the difference between Pinot Grigio and Pinot Gris? Great question. Actually, fun fact, it's actually the same grape varietal. It's just two different styles. So it's whether it's a French style, Pinot Gris is a French style, Pinot Grigio is an Italian style. You get a little bit more of a rounder, softer mouth feel with the Pinot Gris, and you still get the stone fruit and peach flavors in both, just different styles. So we have the Pinot Grigio in our burger blend white, and we have the single varietal Pinot Gris as well. So anyone else that has some more questions, feel free to keep messaging in. If not, if I have missed them, I will email you after, or we'll do a post after about them. But I would like to just finish off and say that, love your wine, love your food, try different combinations at home. There's really no right or wrong answer. If you love it and you want to try it, then go for it. That's the whole way of having to learn and know what does go, what doesn't go. So try all the different sauces on your plate separately, and then try what your actually dish is all together. When we do the dinners in the gallery room with our winemaker, we try every component separately and then everything together, because it's completely different. So have fun. Continue to eat and drink local and try all the different combinations, try all the different recipes. Keep in touch if you have any questions. Again, you can email me about any recipes. I want to do a little bit of a shout out just because we are drinking local. So, support. It's great to support local, and we thank you for all of your support that you have been giving us. And also the 13th Street market that we used to have on 7th is Pioneer Flowers is there, and they are selling beautiful
amazing tulips and spring flowers. So if you need those for Easter, please get those. And yes, to one question, we will save this post. We will post it after, so you can rewatch it and then taste again. And I also wanted to, I think that was all the questions. Okay, so one more thing, we are doing some more specials as we are going each week. So I know all of you enjoyed the Pinot Party Pack, so had a party by yourself at home. So this weekend, it's gonna be fun. And going into next week, we're going to do a little care package, and this one is going to have some butter tarts. So it's a mixed match of butter tarts that's a little bit of everything. It's going to have some salsa and some jam, which is just behind the chip bag, but it's got some salsa, some jam. There we go. One bottle of Riesling and a bottle of Gamay, just to make you feel a little bit gamazing at this time, and the butter tarts. And it's going to be ready for curbside pickup. So that will be a special that we're going to do next week for $75, and you will see posts about that as well going into it. So we will keep you updated and anything else that's happening. So thank you so much for joining me, and it's been a pleasure to have our very first live seminar. So cheers.